On the broadcast tonight, scheduling is coming up in just a few weeks. We have all that you need to know.
And we take an early look at the events to celebrate homecoming next week.
All of that and more right now on SUTV News.
Thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Carson Devitt.
And I'm Adam Beam. Homecoming is right around the corner, and in honor of the 150th anniversary of the university's founding, the campus is preparing for plenty of festivities and celebrations. Homecoming will begin with a kickoff celebration Wednesday, October 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Academic Quad, where students can join the Red Sea with yard games, crafts, and a hot chocolate bar. The following day will include birthday bingo from 7 to 11 p.m. in the Cub NPR. Friday will be all about alumni with the Athletic Hall of Fame Awards, Alumni Awards of Distinction, and an Alumni Welcome event will all be conducted throughout the day on top of the Food Truck Festival from 6 to 9 p.m. by Old Main Circle and Stewart Hall. Saturday is arguably the biggest day of homecoming celebrations. The day starts off with the annual ROTC 5 to 10K run outside the shipwreck. The tailgate lot opens at 10 a.m., which will offer activities for students and fans young and old. Tailgating will lead right into the 1 p.m. kickoff for the Raiders home game against Millersville. And during halftime, the crowning of this year's homecoming royalty will be revealed. The night will conclude with the President's post-game supper at Gilbert Hall and the Step/Stroll show in Memorial Auditorium beginning at 8 p.m. and doors open at 7 p.m. Finally, the weekend will conclude with a performance by the Harmonic Voices of Truth 50th Anniversary Reunion, which will be conducted at St. Peter's African Methodist Episcopal Church at 11 a.m. Speaking of homecoming, we got an exclusive first look at an upcoming exhibit from the Fashion Archives in honor of the 150th anniversary. The Fashion Archive is celebrating the university's anniversary by displaying a sprawling exhibit of fashion throughout Shippensburg's 150-year history.
The 150th anniversary is really special, and here at the Archives we're currently doing an exhibit celebrating the 150th anniversary. Here we're able to document different things that people have worn all throughout SU history ever since the university opened all the way back in the 19th century.
The exhibit is directed by Dr. Karen Bolecki and has been put together by the work of student and community volunteers with a passion for history and a skill in fashion.
Like, you think about the school you go to and you're like, yeah, it's this year's old. You don't really think about the people and what those students were like and what they might have worn to class or what they would have wore to band or to some sport event or around campus just even. And just like learning those people's history and learning their lives is important and interesting.
While exploring the exhibit, I got to speak with two Shippensburg alumni taking a trip down memory lane.
Hello, Shippensburg. It's been a while since we've been back. Started here in 1968 from Central Bucks High School in Doylestown, PA. Graduated in 1973. Still have great memories, of this campus. What a great time we had, and we learned a lot too, I must say.
If you're interested in visiting the event, it will be on display for the Archives Open House Friday, October 22nd and Saturday, October 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. SHIP students and faculty admission is free, and if you're unsure where the Fashion Archives are located, they can be found on the opposite side of the gate behind the shipwreck in the Davis House. The end of the fall semester is rapidly approaching, and that means it's almost time to schedule your classes for the spring. However, for many first-year students, this can be a confusing process, so here's all you have to do to prepare for class selection. Starting off, you'll want to meet with your advisor. If you're unsure who your advisor is, head over to the My SHIP portal and click Student, and then My Academics. Once you meet with your advisor, you'll receive your registration pin, which is essential come registration time. There you'll find a link to My Advisor, and once you select your semester, you'll find your student information as well as your current advisor. It's important that you have an idea of what classes you want to take as well as what classes you'll need to take. You can find that under My Degree Audit. Here you'll find all your required courses in order to graduate, from your gen eds to your course classes that focus on your major's field. If you're still not sure what classes we offer here at SHIP, you can simply browse all classes offered under the Browse Classes link. It's important to have backup classes as some fill up quicker than others. Unless otherwise advised, the registration window for undergraduate students will open on October 25th at 8:30 a.m. until November 11th at 4 p.m.
Even though we are still 3 weeks away from local elections across the Commonwealth, candidates are already looking ahead to the big prizes up for grabs in 2022. SUTV's Jacob Hitz has the latest.
I am announcing my campaign to be the next governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Attorney General Josh Shapiro announced yesterday that he is running for the governor's mansion in 2022, the first Democrat to jump into the race. Shapiro faces a deep Republican field, most notably former U.S. Representative and former Senate nominee Lou Barletta, who lost by double digits to Bob Casey in 2018. The governor's mansion isn't the only high-profile position up for grabs in 2022. Senator Pat Toomey announced late last year that he would not run for re-election. Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman entered the race back in February, but numerous other Democrats have entered the race, including Connor Lamb from the 17th District and the vice chair of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party, Sharif Street. On the Republican side sits another stacked field, including former nominee for Lieutenant Governor Jeff Bartos and Sean Parnell, who received national attention by Republicans in an effort to beat Lamb in that 17th District. Where do we go from here? Well, there are still some possible candidates that have not announced whether they will run for either office or not, including Democrat Eugene DePasquale, who lost to Scott Perry in the 10th District, Republican State Senator Doug Mastriano, who has led the effort in PA to audit the 2020 election, and Democrat Joe Torsella, the former state treasurer. It's still early, but you have to remember the primaries for these races will be held in May of next year, and the filing deadlines for these races is on March 8th, both dates quickly approaching. For SUTV News, I'm Jacob Hitz. Now back to Adam and Carson at the desk.
This past Tuesday, Lurs hosted a poetry performance by Dinez Smith, who is best known for their books Don't Call Us Dead and their newest titled Homie. Smith is a trailblazer in the world of poetry, with work that surrounds race, queerness, HIV, and the conversations that surround them. They performed various pieces such as Dinosaurs in the Hood, Dear White America, and A Note on Vaseline. You can visit their website at dinezsmithpoet.com to buy their works and see other performance times. With midterms coming ahead and gone, many students may be wondering how to get their grades back up. Those students are in luck.
Let's send it over to SUTV's Know Your SHIP correspondent, Cullen Mays, who will give us a look at the Learning Center on campus.
The return of in-person classes has also seen the return of one of the university's most valuable service areas, the Learning Center. I spoke with one of their many learning specialists to see how the return to in-person classes has affected them. Located in Mowry Hall, the Learning Center is dedicated primarily to helping students with their academics. I spoke with learning specialist Zach Grabowski to find out more.
I've worked at SHIP for around 17 years now, all in the Learning Center, and I help coordinate the peer tutoring program here in the Learning Center.
The Learning Center was originally located at the library before being moved to Mowry Hall in fall of 2019. Grabowski spoke about how the move has benefited both the staff and students.
We have a much larger and nicer tutoring space for working with students. We have a great deal of technology here in our space that helps facilitate that learning process with students. And since we're part of the Student Success Center, we have easy access to other important support offices on campus.
Grabowski also pointed out that the Learning Center has seen several new faces stop by ever since in-person classes came back in full earlier this fall.
We're really excited this semester. It's the first semester that we really opened up completely in person. Students have been really excited to be back in the physical space with the tutors. And it's been really exciting to see kind of that energy back in the building. Once you come in and actually meet with a tutor or meet with a staff member here in the Learning Center, you quickly realize what a great tool it is as a student to use. That's what we're here for. And I think when a student comes in, they quickly realize, wow, there's a lot of people here. There really doesn't need to be that type of stigma because it's kind of a support that's available for everybody. We're here just to help students be as successful as they can and to achieve their goals as students here at SHIP.
For those wanting to get those grades up, the Student Success Center is open Monday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For SUTV News, I'm Cullen Mays.
When we come back in world news, 6 people are dead after clashes in Beirut.
We have more right after the break.
The Philippines are recovering after a cyclone killed more than a dozen.
SUTV's Stefan Gergashanov has this week's world news.
Tropical cyclone Mering, known as Kompasu in other parts of Asia, has left at least 19 people dead in the Philippines and 13 others missing, according to CNN Philippines. The cyclone hit the country with extensive flooding and destructive winds. Authorities there say more than 90 homes were destroyed and another 300 were damaged. 6 people are dead in Beirut after an apparent clash between Hezbollah and the Lebanese Forces Party. Hezbollah is making the claim that their supporters were sniped from buildings by members of the Lebanese Forces Party. However, no evidence was provided. At least 30 people were injured, and the violence, at least for now, has subsided. At least 46 people have died after a major fire broke out in a commercial and residential building in southern Taiwan on Thursday. The fire broke out in a 13-story commercial and residential building in Kaohsiung City, a major city in southern Taiwan. At least 41 people have also suffered injuries. A total of 139 fire trucks and ambulances were dispatched to join the rescue work, involving a total of 377 rescue workers. The Kaohsiung Fire Department was notified about the blaze at the building around 3 a.m. local time, and the fire was extinguished over 5 hours later around 7 a.m. It's unclear what caused the fire, according to Central News Agency. It said local police are reviewing surveillance cameras and it cannot be ruled out that human factors might have started the fire. The building was home for many senior citizens with disabilities. A new report says greenhouse gas emissions in G20 countries are on the rise. The global partnership, Climate Transparency, issued the report Thursday. While emissions plunged by 6% across the G20 last year, the report says emissions in G20 countries this year are projected to rise by 4%. That's despite strong growth in solar and wind power. Researchers found that Argentina, China, India, and Indonesia are on track to exceed their 2019 emission levels. According to the report, temperatures will rise 2.4 degrees Celsius from pre-industrial times by the end of the century, even if every G20 nation's current targets are achieved. That's well above the 1.5 degree goal set by the Paris Agreement. That's it for SUTV World News. I'm Stefan Gergashanov. Now back to Adam and Carson at the desk.
When we come back in entertainment, we recap Kim Kardashian on Saturday Night Live.
We have more after the break.
You know, Carson, are you looking forward to fall break this weekend?
Of course I am.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it as well. I really need it, especially if it's going to be as beautiful as it was today.
Well, let's find out from Jada Lee with this week's weather.
The sun has returned. I hope you enjoyed it today because it goes back into hiding for the early part of the weekend. Tonight, we get down into the low 60s. Fog will build through the overnight hours. Tomorrow feels like high summer and the high 80s after the fog burns off in the morning. Showers will roll through in the afternoon. Looking ahead, Saturday is our big weather maker with lots of rain and some significant wind coming through. Sunday cools down and we get back to seasonal temperatures. But the wind hangs around, so it will feel like the mid-50s. Monday's temperatures stay low, but the sun will be out all day long. Tuesday and Wednesday look identical with temperatures in the 60s and the mostly sunny skies. Thursday looks like our next chance for rain. Next week will be some lingering showers, potentially hanging around for Friday. After an abnormally warm week, temperatures finally get back to normal and it will finally start to feel like fall in Shippensburg. That's the weather for this week. Now let's go over to Sarah Cox with this week's entertainment.
An unexpected celebrity hosted Saturday Night Live last Saturday. Kim Kardashian made her comedic debut hosting SNL for the first time on Saturday night. While she did get a lot of great reviews for her monologue, where she made jokes about her divorce from Kanye West, her family getting plastic surgery, and even made a joke about the ratings of the show itself, she did receive backlash from making jokes about O.J. Simpson. Many viewers, including Nicole Brown's own sister, said that Kim's jokes were, quote, tasteless and insensitive, end quote, due partially to the fact that Kim's own mother, Kris Jenner, was best friends with Nicole. Regardless of this, Kim's episode was definitely one to remember, with Kardashian boosting the ratings to about 5.2 million compared to the premiere of this season, which had about 4.9 million viewers. While it may not be hitting theaters till next year, the first trailer for Scream 5 is right in time for Halloween. The trailer sees the return of original members Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette as a new Ghostface begins to terrorize the town of Woodsboro once again. The trailer also introduces some new cast members like Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera, Jack Quaid, and Jasmine Savoy Brown. The movie appears to be just as self-aware as the ones that came before it, although this will be the first Scream film to not be directed by Wes Craven, who passed away in 2015. Scream will be exclusively in theaters January 14th, 2022. This Saturday is promising to be a big day for fans of DC Comics, as it will bring about the second annual DC Fandom event. SUTV's Adam Beam gives us a preview for the big event.
Last year's DC Fandom event was a massive hit for Warner Brothers, offering a Comic-Con-sized event that fans all over the world could enjoy from the comfort of their own homes. And this year's second outing is promising to be bigger than ever before. The studio has recently announced a massive lineup of celebrities and A-listers, giving us a good idea of what upcoming projects we can expect from the event. Starting off, it's clear that Matt Reeves' The Batman will be at the forefront of the event, with cast members Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz likely to bring a new trailer for the film with them. With Dwayne Johnson, Pierce Brosnan, Noah Centineo, Aldous Hodge, and Quintessa Swindell appearing, we're bound to get our first look at the Shazam prequel, Black Adam. Ezra Miller's Flash film is sure to give us our first look as well, many fans excited to see his new suit as well as the return of Michael Keaton as Batman. Other DC films set at the Fandom include Aquaman 2, Shazam 2, Batgirl, Wonder Woman 3, and J.J. Abrams' currently untitled Superman project. However, it's not just the movies that DC will be rolling out at the Fandom. In their television offerings, we can expect to see some new looks at the CW Arrowverse like Batwoman Season 3 and Superman and Lois Season 2. The Suicide Squad spin-off series Peacemaker with John Cena, premiering on HBO Max this January, is bound to come with a first trailer as well. Gamers should also keep an eye out for more info on the upcoming Gotham Knights game, as well as Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And fans are swirling with speculation as Mortal Kombat creator Ed Boon making an appearance could possibly mean an announcement for Injustice 3. DC Fandom will be taking place this Saturday, October 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time or 10 a.m. Pacific Time. For SUTV Entertainment, I'm Adam Beam.
DC Comics has made a historic announcement in honor of National Coming Out Day this week by revealing that the current Superman in the comics is officially bisexual. In the ongoing series Superman, Son of Kal-El, which follows Superman's son Jonathan taking up the role of the Man of Steel, an upcoming issue will see the young hero fall for reporter Jay Nakamura. The writer for the comic, Torrin Taylor, said, quote, "This was an opportunity to create a Superman that could represent a whole new group of people," end quote. The decision has been met with some controversy, with former Superman actor Dean Cain calling the development, saying, quote, "It's neither bold nor brave. I say they're bandwagoning," end quote. The issue will be hitting comic shops this November. We're happy to announce that one of our SUTV reporters has been featured on an album in the iTunes Top 40. Brix Minguez has been featured on Fast Times, a song by T. Reville's album Purple Face. She is excited about her return to the charts, as she's also had a previous hit song with T. Reville titled Escape the Flames. Brix has been working with music for years and hopes to release her own album in the near future. We here at SUTV are looking forward to hearing more of her work. That's it for this week's entertainment. I'm Sarah Cox. Let's send it back over to Adam and Carson at the desk.
When we come back in sports, field hockey looks to remain undefeated against ranked opponents.
We have more after the break.
Field hockey was back in action on Tuesday night as they took on number 3 ranked Millersville. The Raiders coming into Tuesday's match were still ranked first in the nation and looking to maintain their undefeated record. Ship picked up the scoring early in the second quarter with a goal from Yasmin Petrantonio, her 19th goal of the season. Overall, the Raiders dominated the play, outshooting the Marauders 21-3 and had 8 penalty corners throughout the game. The Raiders capped their victory with a goal in the dying seconds of the game from Adrian McGarrigle. Previous PSAC Defensive Athlete of the Week, Lindsay Trapoto, stood tall in the crease as they shut out Millersville 2-0. The Raiders are back on the road this weekend as they take on the Bloomsburg Huskies on Saturday. The game starts at 6 p.m. Women's volleyball took to the court on Tuesday night as they took on Pitt Johnstown. The Raiders took the first set by a score of 16-25, but fell short in the seconds as the Panthers won in extra points. Ship, however, would end up winning the match and extending their winning streak to 3 matches as they beat Pitt Johnstown 3-1. The Raiders end the match totaling 59 kills and 57 assists. Ship was led by Emily Gardner, who had 15 kills, 4 aces, and 1 block. Volleyball's next matchup is tomorrow night in Bloomsburg. The match starts at 7 o'clock. Shippensburg football has been unable to defeat Westchester since 2015. Can they pull off the win? SUTV's Tyler Danson has the highlights.
It's that time of year again for the annual football game between Shippensburg and Westchester. Both teams coming into Saturday's matchup were 4-1 and trying to prove who was the better team. Picking up action here in the first quarter, the Rams are going to be punting the ball after a strong defensive stand by Shippensburg. But the ball's going to go through the punter's hands. Ball's going to be on the ground. There's a scramble for it. It's still loose. But it's Matt Feeney who pounces onto the ball deep in Westchester territory. That turnover will then lead to this passing play. Bryson Messina over to Jake DeLuca, who's going to be able to walk it into the end zone for a 10-0 lead for Ship. Now check this out. Ship's defense came ready to play today. Westchester has the ball deep in their end yet again. Quarterback's going to scramble. He's going to fumble it though. It's going to be Dante Wisher coming screaming in. And he's going to pounce on it. And he's going to lay on top of it for the second turnover of the game. Third quarter now. Ship is on the attack. Bryson Messina is in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap. But he's going to fumble it. It's Jackson Taylor of the Westchester defense who's able to scoop it up and get the ball back in Westchester hands. Westchester offense trying to get something here, and why not hand it off to one of the best rushers in the PSAC? Phil Pokey's going to run the ball. He's going to take it down the field. But he's going to fumble it, and then he's going to recover in the end zone. What's the call, ref? Oh, he says it's good. Let's check this chaos out one more time, but this time in slow motion. Dante Witcher is going to be able to force another fumble at the 7-yard line. It's going to be able to walk itself into the end zone, and it's going to be recovered for a Rams touchdown. 17-12 now. We got a match. Raiders back on the offense, looking to respond when it's Bill Williams who wants to show that he can run the ball too. 39 yards in this carry. He's going to end up in the end zone. Ship regains a 2-score lead. Westchester offense back out there again. They're going to launch a ball down the field. He's going to be picked off this time. Nope, he's going to find Seth Degree for a 28-yard pickup, which would then lead to another Westchester touchdown. We got a game going into the fourth quarter here. Early fourth quarter now, Bryson Messina is going to take the ball, step back. He's going to find Evan Morrow, who's just going to take it. Where's the Westchester defense? He's just going to take it the entire way for another Raider touchdown, and Ship's going to be back up by 13. Late fourth quarter now. Westchester has to get something going here to stay in this game. Let's listen in. Another turnover by the Ship defense, and that will do it here at Seth Grove Stadium. Ship beats Westchester for the first time since 2015 by a score of 34-18. The Raiders defense certainly showed up today, totaling 5 turnovers, which then would lead to 2 touchdowns. Senior defensive back Trey Paul, who had an interception in the game, had this to say about the feeling of beating Westchester.
It was absolutely amazing. A team that I've been here for 5 years, we haven't beaten yet. So it was definitely improvement to team morale, and definitely added a good step in moving forward going towards Kutztown this week.
Ship is back on the road this weekend as they take on Kutztown. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock. From SUTV Sports, I'm Tyler Danceson.
The Raiders men and women's swimming teams had an exciting dual meet yesterday against IUP. The men were first to hit the water, and they had quite the successful outing, winning with a score of 118-86. Some of the outstanding races include senior Trevor Woolwine with a 54.43-second swim in the 100-yard backstroke. Woolwine also helped carry the men's 200-yard medley relay to victory, as well with fellow senior Andrew Hale, Matt Bochansky, and Vin Salvatore. Moving on to the women's meet, while they weren't able to overcome IUP, the Raiders still put out some successful races and events. Freshman Lauren Cole was able to pick up some PSAC cuts with her 24.95-second swim in the 50-yard freestyle, as well as finishing third in the 100-yard backstroke with a time of 1 minute and 10 seconds. The Raiders will swim again in a tri-meet against Fairmont State and Cal U, which will be away on Cal U on Friday, October 22nd. Women's soccer took the field Wednesday against the Bloomsburg Huskies. Bloomsburg's Amanda Stoll opens the scoring in the 43rd minute with a header. Stoll would strike again in the 79th minute to extend the lead off of a cross from Kennedy Kilchrist. Huskies win 2-0, and the Raiders will be back in action Saturday at Lock Haven starting at 4. That's all for sports this week. Make sure to check out SUTV Overtime on YouTube as Patrick Ramsdale and Jacob Hitz talk all things Ship sports. Let's send it to Carson and Adam back at the desk.
When we come back, a unique wallaby has been born at a Kansas zoo.
Stay tuned.
Things are hopping at the Sunset Zoo in Manhattan, Kansas. Workers there are welcoming the addition of a rare albino wallaby named Brunny after an island off of the Tasmanian home to about 200 of the Melanin Challenge marsupials. The wallaby only recently emerged from its mother's pouch months after being born. Zoo officials still don't know whether Brunny is a boy or a girl, so good thing they gave the joey a unisex name. Brunny also has a brother named Arlo who came out of the pouch before Brunny and is not albino. The two additions bring the wallaby count at Sunset Zoo to 5. You know, Carson, would you like to know what a wallaby's favorite game to play is?
What is it?
Hopscotch.
That's it for SUTV News. I'm Carson Devitt.
And I'm Adam Beam. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News. And check out our website at sutvnews.org.
We're off for fall break next week, but we will be back in 2 weeks with more. Until then, good night.